Thank you. My name is Katya Vladislavleva, and I'm here to show a small example of how to mine actionable knowledge from data. I'm going to talk about happiness and freedom of choice, and on a macro scale and what drives them. So, policies. They are hopefully created trying to make us happy. And more often than not, unfortunately, the focus lies in the economic prosperity. The focus is lying on money, on markets, on perfect competitions. But what if it's not money that drives our happiness? We believe that the answers lie in the data. The problem with data is everybody is collecting them, and once we spend all this effort to get the data we want, what happens? We just have to sit and stare at spreadsheets. And people, what comes next after that? We had a brick wall of not knowing how to interpret the data. But all that people want to do is to act on it. They want to understand what drives performance and how to achieve the desired performance within the constraint of their businesses or budgets. The issue that I need to mention here is that there is a growing mismatch between the amount of relevant data we are generating and all of us, the number of people who can analyze it. This mismatch can only be addressed, we believe, through analytics scale-up and automation. That's why we work on data stories, a magical place where you can come, upload your spreadsheet, select what matters to you, type in some context about your business problem, your business goals, hit go, sit back and relax, and in a couple of days, perhaps after 2 more video meetings with us, you get back the quantified information about the quality of your data, all relationships to your critical KPIs, and predictions of these KPIs. Today, I'm going to show how it works using an openly available dataset curated by the United Nations Programme of Human Development. The data is very nice. It contains information about 187 world countries and 150 different indicators that come from 13 categories: political, economical, education, health, environment, everything. So why this data? Because this data shares, it's a small one, but it shares many characteristics of most real-world industrial and business problems. What are these? There is too many columns of unknown significance. Most of the columns are correlated. Most of the data very often can be missing, and there is no information content, and everything, numbers and text, are combined. So we now take this data and we select as our KPI, key performance indicator, the indicator which measures the fraction of population in a country who are satisfied with their freedom of choice. This is our goal, and we want to understand what drives it. Why it is an interesting indicator, why we call it a happiness index, because if we sort the countries based on the level of human development, we see that all these countries, the happiness goes all over the place. There is barely a correlation with the level of human development or GDP per capita, gross domestic product. So what drives it? Can we find it in the data? I don't have time to tell you how our algorithms for deep learning and nonlinear predictions work, but we address 3 important questions. What drives my KPIs? How do I predict my KPIs? And what are the outliers, good or bad points or countries which I should be looking at? If we ask this question to our problem, so what drives the happiness index? Click a button, and 20,000 cross-validations and lots of nonlinear modeling later, you get a simple answer that out of 150 indicators, these 6 are necessary and sufficient to robustly predict the happiness index: standard of living, actions to preserve the environment, health expenditures. So once we have the drivers, we can also build nonlinear predictive models and make them actionable. We can let people, countries, policymakers see how much and what can they change, if it is changeable, to improve the KPI. For France, for example, which is already very good in terms of happiness index, we know that if we improve the actions to preserve the environment by 14%, the overall total satisfaction will go up by 6%. Belgium is very similar in this case. So if all that matters, if the people's satisfaction, what we can do of all things that we can change, we should go and improve actions to preserve the environment to make Belgium 3 to 4% happier. What's the conclusion here? The conclusion is that data-driven decision-making will rule. The algorithms do rule. I agree with all the previous speakers. And what we need to do now, data scientists, is we need to map predictive models to actions. Thank you very much for being here. You can send me an email, and you can subscribe for good stuff at datastories.com at the bottom of our website. Thank you.
Excellent.